Hey, it's Coach Dana. Yay! How are you guys doing today? It is day 2 of the 1 year Bible journey with Coach Dana, and I'm so excited. It is a little late, but hey, we are getting it. Again, it's not always perfect, but we're present, right? So, just want to reflect on yesterday was great. Started off the Bible journey together. Now it's day 2. We're reading Genesis 4 through 6. And just a reminder again, this journey is about progress, not perfection. Whether you're watching live, catching the replay, or listening while you're doing life, God meets you right where you are. And I'm still walking through the Bible recap with Tara-Leigh Cobble. And today's reading, again, Genesis chapter 4 through 7. And woo, today it gets real quick. Okay. Genesis 4 talks about Cain and Abel. They're two brothers. They gave two offerings, and it was the same God. But something goes wrong. Not because the offering itself, a lot of people say, well, what was the offering that was given? What was wrong with the offering? But it was actually because of Cain's heart behind it. Again, we are supposed to be giving joyfully and things of that nature, right? So God looks at the heart. Cain gets angry, he gets jealous, he gets defensive, and God warns him. And this part stood out pretty big to me. God says, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. It reminds me later on when we go to the New Testament, he says, Satan wants to sift you as wheat, right? It just wants, that's what the enemy does. It steals, it kills, it destroys. So I thought that was powerful. God doesn't abandon Cain and his emotions. He warns him. He warns him because Cain has choices to make. And he gives him a choice. And isn't this still true today? We have choices. Anger, bitterness, comparison, you know, we think about that. They all crouch at our door. But God gives us an opportunity to pause, to choose differently, and to invite Him in. Cain doesn't listen, and then the sin escalates, which is another reminder how unaddressed sin doesn't stay small. We have to take care of it. Okay, so next thing, Genesis 5 through 6. As we move forward, we see generations multiplying, and so does sin, right? Genesis 6 says something heavy. It says, God grieved that he made humanity because how wicked the world had become. Ooh, that's crazy. How wicked the world had become. That tells me something important. God isn't distant. He isn't numb. He isn't cold. He feels deeply. He grieved. And yet, even in judgment, we see his grace. Now, Noah, he was a man that walked with God. His family was preserved. And also, God gave him instructions. God made a plan and he extended mercy. The ark wasn't just about rain, it was about rescue. We think about Noah's obedience. Now, going to chapter 7, right? Or Noah's obedience. You know, the flood came, and here's what I noticed. Noah obeyed before the rain came. Now think they're in the desert. You don't get much rain in the desert. He's out here building a boat and an ark, an ark. And I'm sure everybody is looking at him like, this crazy. What is he doing? Right? And he's out there building a boat saying it's gonna rain in the desert. Before it even made sense, before anyone else understood, he obeyed. And that hit me. Sometimes obedience may look foolish to others. Sometimes God asks us to trust Him without the full picture. Sometimes the calling comes before the confirmation. But obedience always leads to protection, even when the process is uncomfortable. And believe me, the process is usually uncomfortable. You're outside of your comfort zone. I always talk about you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, the real life reflection. So, here's the heart takeaway today. Sin wants to creep in quietly, but God always gives a warning. Obedience may feel lonely, but it always matters. And grace is still present, even in judgment. And just like yesterday, your time with God doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need perfect words. You don't even need a perfect setting. You just need a willing heart. 5 minutes in the car, 7 minutes on a walk. That actually sounds pretty good. It was a nice day to walk today out here in Houston, anyway. A prayer whispered between meetings. God sees it and God honors it. Now, if you're walking on this journey with me, I want you to know you're not alone. We're learning together, we're growing together, we're choosing relationships over religion. If you want to read along, the link is in the YouVersion plan in the description. Jump in anytime, no guilt, no pressure. Tomorrow we're going to keep going. Same God, same grace, same journey, and I'll see you for day 3. Love y'all. Bye.